Most of us grew up hearing the story of Jesus and his disciples crossing the Sea of Galilee, crashing through a terrifying storm to land on a remote shore and face an even more terrifying, possessed man. This man's existence was a waking nightmare. He lived in total isolation among stone tombs of the dead, shrieking through the night and cutting his skin with sharp rocks. The exorcism ends in a bizarre spectacle. Instead of simply banishing the demons, Jesus sends them into a massive herd of nearby pigs, causing the entire group to go stampeding off a steep cliff into the water below. Traditionally, we read this as a straightforward spiritual victory, but that reading requires us to skip right over specific, confusing details that don't make much sense to a modern reader. Take the way the entity introduces itself. When Jesus asks for a name, the demon identifies itself using a specific Latin military term, legion. Then there is the text's strange mathematical precision. The Gospel writer specifically recorded that there were exactly 2,000 pigs in that herd. To a first-century audience living under occupation, these details functioned as a coded, politically explosive threat directed at the most brutal military force in the ancient world. This region, near the city of Gadara, was a heavily Romanized Gentile territory with a deep Roman architectural footprint etched into the landscape. For the locals, life under occupation meant suffocating taxes, constant surveillance, and the daily reality of military terror used to maintain order. When the demon calls itself legion, it isn't using a synonym for a crowd. A Roman legion was a massive, heavily armed division of 4,000 to 5,000 elite soldiers. In this specific region, the Roman authorities relied on one particular dreaded military unit to maintain control, Legio X Fretensis, the 10th Roman legion. By claiming the name legion, the demon explicitly linked its unseen spiritual oppression to the very real physical oppression of the soldiers stationed nearby. Historical records reveal an explosive connection. The official mascot of that 10th Roman legion was a boar. The demon's request to enter the pigs targets the literal symbol of the occupying army. Even the numbers match. Within the logistics of a Roman legion, a standard battalion sent out on a regional detachment consisted of exactly 2,000 men. The biblical record of exactly 2,000 pigs creates a direct link to that precise Roman troop count. Jesus sent the exact troop count and the literal mascots of the 10th Legion charging to their deaths in the sea. This exorcism acted as subversive political theater, showing the oppressed locals exactly what Jesus could do to the invincible Roman army. As the pigs disappeared into the water, the witnesses on the shore were left with a two-part message. First, it demonstrated absolute authority over the strongest spiritual forces of darkness. No demon could withstand his command. But it also demonstrated his power to destroy the physical Roman Empire with a single word. Jesus was establishing himself as the sovereign Lord over both the spiritual and political realms. Usually, Jesus told his followers to keep his miracles a secret, but in this Gentile territory, he gives the opposite command. He tells the liberated man to go out and boldly broadcast the mercy he was shown to all the surrounding cities. Rome maintained its grip on the ancient world through fear, sheer brutality, and the impenetrable iron walls of its legions. Jesus was building an opposing empire founded entirely on restoration and liberation. The symbolic drowning of the Roman mascot was a prophetic guarantee that this new empire of mercy would outlast and conquer the empire of fear.